Hey, welcome back to the RJ Chapman Show. I have a special guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, the esteemed, the world-renowned Will Hayes. Will, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, RJ.
Yeah, it's great to see you, in a different thing besides Toastmasters or just video phone calls all the time. I was going to ask you what you think of the set.
This is amazing. I've watched a few of your videos. I was kind of prepared, but when you get out here, you're not prepared for it.
Right.
It's a whole lot more than what I thought it was. And
it's very calming,
I'm moving in.
All right. We got plenty of room for you, brother. We got plenty of room. Love to have you move in. I met Will. I thought I might have. Oh, I met you at TED.
TED Talk.
And you were a coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was coaching Nicholas Patterson.
Oh, that guy's Nick. Tell him he's phenomenal.
Oh, he's a phenomenal speaker, but to see him play piano when he got up there and did. And that was the second time I saw him play. The first time I saw him play was Behind the Walls.
Oh.
I met Nick during, we were hosting or sponsoring the Toastmasters Club Behind the Walls, and they were having a contest.
Really?
And Nick was competing.
Oh my gosh.
And he pulled out his piano and he was playing, and it was a humor speech, and he was playing sets to match the scenarios of his speech.
Oh.
It was so funny, but he didn't get any love because everybody there has seen it a few times.
Oh yeah.
So they were bored with it, and I was just so yeah, that's good. And when I saw he didn't win, I was like, how could you not win? And they were just tired of it, and they said it.
Well, I kind of, when we do ours, Toastmasters, like you're in the finals of something. Where are we going? I don't even know what it is all the time.
Oh, but we're
Division?
District 84, from Pensacola down to Orlando, like 200 clubs, 4,000 members.
And you're in the real speech.
Right, the international speech contest. So it'll be the top 8 speakers from all of the division winners, and you are the Division 8 champion in humor speech.
I know.
And you're going to find out what real competition is all about.
Well, I'm very excited about doing the new guy. I mean, you've done some changes with it. We've implemented some changes. What I was going to say about Nick and people seeing it a couple of times, I've done the new guy like 3 or 4 or 5 times now. And I'm getting a little tired of doing it. But you say, any chance you get to do it, do it.
Do it.
And then I'll just have to really muster a lot of energy and enthusiasm on that night, which I'm sure I will, right? It's going to be crowded and packed and everybody's going to be happy.
And that's your biggest enemy. When you get to that level of competition, after you've done a speech a few times, your biggest enemy is yourself, not wanting to do the same speech over again because you see some familiar faces in the audience and they know what you're going to say, and you kind of lose that energy.
Yeah, I think if I saw like Lashana's seen it and Margot's seen it, it's like you say. So I probably won't look at them. But yeah.
Just get through that.
Well, I'm Friday and you're Saturday.
Right.
It's a 2 or 3 day gig down there, and it's very prestigious. I'm surprised they take this very seriously.
Are you ready?
I am ready, but Toastmasters is serious.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but anybody can join. More the merrier.
Anybody can join. But the toughest people and the strongest people will press through. It takes a lot because after you do I've seen many people do their icebreaker, and after the first 4-minute speech, and they sit down and they're just, oh man, I really bombed that speech.
Oh.
And they're ashamed and they just never come back.
Oh.
And I've seen some that join the club and never even given an icebreaker.
Really?
But you'll have some that they really want it. They want the end product of what public speaking can do for them, to have that skill to speak on purpose, whether it's a few people, a group of kids, an auditorium full of people, just to have that skill set to lay it down in any arena.
I love how they do it. Now, I'll be honest with you. When I first started Toastmasters, level 1, body language, I could have wrote the book on body language, so I didn't pay any attention to the tutorial.
I know.
I know you know. So I did it. I went up there and I did the speech, and everybody loved it. And I got some comments. And then I did another speech, and I didn't pay any attention to the tutorial. And you came up and you said something about the tutorial, and I hadn't watched it, and I couldn't lie. I just said, no, I don't pay attention to that. You said, follow it.
Yeah, I can tell you were the Fifth Fleet Master Chief talking to thousands of sailors of morale and teaching. I'm like, RJ, you're teaching us.
Right, I remember.
Get out of that teaching mode. Let that down. Pull back the curtain on yourself.
Oh my gosh, he's stealing. He's stealing my stuff right there.
Pull back that curtain.
Which one am I talking into? That one? He's stealing. He stole that. I got it from the Wizard of Oz. They pulled back the curtain. And he put in his speech the other night in which he beat me. Yeah. And my wife just hugged him. She said, let me hug the man who beat my husband.
Your wife's a good hugger.
I wouldn't know. She just wants to hug the guy that beat her husband.
Does she work out?
No. And she has a twin sister?
Does she do a lot of yard work?
No, she don't. Well, I mean, she likes to, plant flowers.
Okay, because
we walk a lot.
Her lats. She's really firm.
Shut up. Neither one of us ever been to a gym. But enough about my wife. Once you said that, now I want to ask you a question too. I haven't asked you this question. So I was teaching in the beginning. Now I'm storytelling.
Yes.
Now, is that okay?
It's so much better because it's like we're at Grandpa's house. Come on, kids, gather around here. Let me tell you a story about Old Man River. And the way you use your voice and tell your stories, it's very captivating.
Yeah.
Because you know how to use your voice very well.
Right. Well,
with the pitch, the tone, the pace.
Well, I was into it for a couple of months, and you came up one time and you said, you know what it is about you? And I said, what is it? You go, it's your voice.
It's your voice.
And ever since you told me that, I have really worked on that voice and stopping and pausing. I've always done it, but I really paid even more attention to it because it's my number one weapon.
Yeah.
It's my voice.
Some people have a voice when they speak, you just listen.
Right.
You have that octave. You're like right in the sweet spot.
Well, I know when I am giving those speeches at Toastmasters, I do look at you a lot. I mean, I look at everybody around the room and stuff, but I look at you. I want to see what you're doing. If you're interested, not interested. I mean, you're always interested, but when I see you do this, like I'm going to tell you something top secret. Everybody's like, what's next? What's he going to tell us?
Yeah.
So it's very helpful to me.
I like it when you tell the Navy stories.
It seems like everybody does.
They do.
You got to keep them civilian Navy, though.
Yeah. Like your last speech, you kept saying Cobb.
I know.
They don't know what the Cobb is. I knew what the Cobb is.
Well,
I knew what Cobb was.
I thought I said Cobb, and then I thought I said senior enlisted leader. I knew I missed that.
Chief of the boat.
Yeah, maybe I should have. Shoot. Why didn't I say Cobb? All my submarine pals are like, dummy, why don't you tell them what Cobb was?
And you could have bridged it with the Hunt for Red October.
Yeah. I could have talked because they had talking like Sean Connery.
Because they had the Cobb on the boat.
Yes.
And
that's what I'm messing up with, too.
The chief of the boat.
Yeah. Dang it.
But when you tell your stories, it immediately takes me back. It's like I have PTSD and I get these flashbacks of being in the Navy. It was like, I don't tell Navy stories, but every time you tell a Navy story, it just immediately captures my attention and I'm just like into it. And
well, how long were you in the Navy?
27 years.
There you go. Oh, that's why the stories captivate you.
And your stories,
you're little kid stories.
Yeah. Your stories are that's the only time I get military talk is when I don't go to the Chiefs Club. I don't go in the bays.
Right.
But when somebody starts talking, man, this opens up Pandora's box. I'm like this LinkedIn. I can't stop listening. I'm like, man, that's the best speech ever. and then George is like, I really didn't understand what he was talking about.
I really didn't understand what he's talking, but I liked it.
I liked it, but I just didn't understand all of the.
George, he's a tough evaluator. He's a tough evaluator. I tell you what, I love the people in that club. I do love those people, and I may have missed 1 or 2 Mondays, but I've been going a year, and I just find it really nice.
I think we have a good mix.
Oh, we have a great
mix between men, women, young, old,
new members.
Different, diverse backgrounds. So when you speak, you have to find that sweet spot that everybody can get into, and our club is perfect for that.
It is, because you can relate to somebody in that club no matter what gender or what age you are, just like you said. You know, Macia's son, what's his name?
Oh!
He's a good kid.
Rashid?
Yes, I think he's a good kid. And you know, if you're a young person came in there and we're listening to that, and then the guy that won't do a table talk yet or nothing, he was at my table last Monday, and he goes, well, I can't really do it. I said, dude, you're doing it right now, talking.
Rashad.
Oh my God.
He was good.
He was good. There's some special stuff. And then the one guy that was brand new Monday, he's in there. Why? He wants to learn how to talk in front of people at his new workplace.
Yes.
Key for Toastmasters. How long you been going to that club?
I've been going to that club for about 7 years now. I've been a Toastmaster for 10. I started out at CSX Toastmasters.
Oh.
And I used to love that club. You go in the CSX building downtown.
Nice.
And they have the meeting in Riverview East. So there's this, it's
beautiful.
This huge table, seats like maybe 40 people.
Dang.
And they had seats along the walls. We had so many members. We had like 42 members.
So you never got to talk?
It was a wait.
Because that's one good thing about ours.
You could speak every week if you wanted to.
Well, maybe now every 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, I had to wait a few months
Oh.
just to speak there, and but I had all my speeches ready, and I would talk to my sponsor. Is there an opening? Somebody dropped out. Are you ready? I'm ready to go. And I think I got my first 5 speeches in as an alternate.
Oh my gosh.
And then
We're blessed. We're
after
blessed.
that, it was this. They're like, well, who is this guy? Because I listened.
You are good, Will. I'm telling you.
They had so many good speakers there, and I was just ready to go. I was just ready to. I'm very competitive. That's what got me in.
You're kidding me.
That's what got me involved.
Because you crushed me last week.
I was doing health and fitness sales, and I had a sales team. And one of my sales reps, she wanted to work on her presentation skills, and she asked me, "Hey, Willie, would you go to a Toastmasters meeting with me?" Sure. You want to make more sales? I'm all for that.
Yes.
Because I was a team lead.
That works for me.
We get there, and I was looking around, and the way they started speaking, and then when they gave out ribbons, oh my God, they were competing with each other. And then the evaluators were competing. The evaluators were competing with each other, and then the table topics. They gave all those ribbons out. And I'm like, I'm coming back.
I'm telling you.
She never came back.
Oh, she didn't?
She never came, and I never stopped going. From that day to today, I've always gone to Toastmasters.
Well, funny you mentioned those ribbons. I remember the first time I went to Toastmasters and that same thing. I mean, it's just a little purple ribbon with some gold writing on it. But you're telling us, look, if you win, you're an award-winning speaker.
You're an award-winning speaker?
And I'm like, oh, I want that ribbon bad. I felt like a third grader. And I got one. I don't know. I think it was one of those gifts, you know, you do your icebreaker and they give you a gift.
That's like an unwritten rule.
It is
if we have a guest and they get up,
Table topics.
We will let them win. Sometimes I don't agree with it all the time, because a lot of times it backfires on us, I think.
They don't show up?
Because they'll come in and maybe win the table topics, and it's like fool's gold.
Yeah.
I don't really need Toastmasters. I beat those people. Go to Toastmasters every week, and I beat them. I'm good. But no, you're not. We just kind of let you.
Yeah. If they're smart, they go, look, that was a little gift. That was a little welcome to the club. You know, but you have a lot of work to do because you've heard those other people.
Yeah.
You know, I was surprised the depth that Toastmasters goes. Like I took the leadership pathway, which I took leadership pathway. You go, oh, come on. What are you taking? You know leadership. What are you doing? Remember that?
Yeah, I'm like, what is the presentation mastery? The master the speaking. You're Fifth Fleet.
Even me. I'm like,
you were the command mastery for the Fifth Fleet.
I'm gonna put my toe into this lightly and do something I know. But then the whole leadership
Get out of your lane.
I'm gonna now because I'm almost done. This whole thing is level 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on level 5. I got one more. You know, you get to choose the last speech. They give you like 5 speeches and you choose one. So I'm on that one and I'm done with level 5.
Okay.
A year.
That's, That's good.
Is it?
You know, if you complete 2 paths,
Yeah.
That's distinguished Toastmaster.
Really?
But you will have to do
Training?
a leadership role outside of your club.
What does that mean?
Area director, division director. You have to serve in one of those capacities. So I'm going for division or area director next.
You're not a distinguished Toastmaster?
No.
You're kidding me. What about being the president of our club?
That doesn't count.
Oh my gosh.
You have to do something outside your club. And here's the thing. If you are area director, division director, in some kind of capacity, you cannot compete.
Oh.
That's a no-go with me.
Yeah,
I got a
I
house full of trophies. I'm like, that's why I'm there. I'm there to compete.
Yeah, I like competing too.
And after being in the Navy for 27 years and leading divisions and running maintenance control and
What were you? An Airedale?
I was an Airedale.
Oh.
And it's good to not be responsible for somebody.
Oh yeah.
It's good to be a standalone unit.
Right.
So I kind of rebel against the leadership side. We develop leaders. You have that.
Right.
We have that.
Right.
I don't need to develop, and I just want to speak and
that's
compete.
That's one thing about taking the leadership thing. I knew I could speak on every one of their topics once I got out of teaching and I got into storytelling.
Oh yeah.
Then they were simple. They were they were a lot of fun to do. And you know this last one that I did? And you remember when I first started out, I had notes and stuff. And you guys are like, get rid of the notes.
Get rid of the notes.
Well, the last one about the 3 different officers and their leadership style, I wrote it old school. I wrote it out, but I didn't practice it very much. I just remembered it and went into it naturally. And it came out naturally at the thing. I thought it came out pretty natural. But I was surprised. I mean, the timing was good. I'd worked on the timing a little bit. But yeah, I felt really comfortable. That speech, probably the most comfortable I've ever felt, except for the new guy, because that's really easy for me.
Now, when we get to the district, there will probably be between 500 and 600 people in the audience.
Okay.
When you see it, you're on stage, you're mic'd up, and you get the taste of being in the Super Bowl. I want you to consider next year doing the international speech contest.
I'm doing that.
How far can you go with that?
I'm doing that because mine's over now.
Yeah, the humorous goes to the district, and that's as far as it'll go. But the international, you can progress to the one world winner.
I saw that lady, world champion.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard her speak?
They're good.
Are they?
They're really good. But just to make it out of district, you have to be good to get out of district. The furthest I've gone, I took second last time. But this time, Derek Lott is going to be there, and I get a rematch with Derek Lott.
Yeah, you talk about him. He must be good.
He's good. You're going to face him too, because he's
a humorist.
He's a humorist. He's pretty funny.
Oh dang it!
He's a really good showman. He's got all the tools.
I have to spice up the new guy a little bit.
He's got all the tools. You'll find out what it's all about, and then when you get there and you see it, let's get you ready for next year. Because next year I won't be able to compete. And our club, we always have good representation in.
I'm looking forward
in
to
the
that
contest world
because I did want to go further. I mean, when the humorist stopped at this thing, I'm like, oh, but you can go.
Let's hope.
Now, is it the winner? Only the winner goes?
Only the winner.
Gosh, that's really a tough thing about second place is first loser.
That's what Ricky Bobby says. If you're not first, you're last.
Navy SEALs say. Gosh. Well, I really enjoy it, and I do enjoy the club. It's a little bit of a drive for me, but it's worth it. I keep waiting for you to ask me to be the president next year.
You want to?
No.
You know, we need somebody.
Here it comes.
We need somebody with that fire.
Well, and you know,
the excitement.
I'm not saying I'm going to do it or not do it, but
you need that personality out front because it's that sells the club.
Well, and just everybody's knowledge, the president, which is Will Hayes, every meeting. Did you just wave to the fans, Will? Every meeting, you talk. I mean, the amount of time that you talk in the meeting, being the president, is probably longer than one of the speeches.
Sometimes.
And so that's a real opportunity to talk and practice.
Yeah.
And you always bring up something like, this is, Women History Month or something.
You can have all your points ready.
Yeah.
You'll be good for that.
Oh gosh, here we go. But I'm thinking about it. But I will tell you, this YouTube thing, RJ Chapman show, and Fun with Coins, and the TED Talk, but that's over now, and I'm not going to do another one. Takes a lot of time.
Well, let me ask you, while you talk, we said TED Talk, what's the difference between TED Talking and Toastmasters speaking?
The length of the speech, that's the number one difference. Other than that, I'm really, now that I've reached this level, I'm doing these things, and I remember I had to put a lot of work into TED, because it is word for word. A 12-minute word for word. Toastmasters, you can wing it a little bit. You have to get the general gist of what you're talking about, but they're not going to throw you out. TED's not going to throw you out because you left out a word. But they're very adamant. Well, you were a coach. Were they adamant about your guys' speech? Patterson, or did he wing it a little bit?
Did he wing?
He won a little.
A little.
What do you think the difference is, seeing them both? Time is one for sure.
Yeah, time is one. Toastmasters, more big movements.
Yes.
More
Props.
more stage presence, props. It's a little bit more. You can get out you can get outside of the creativity box, and you can really let loose.
Yeah.
In Toastmasters.
You're right. The
TED Talk has got to be that idea.
Yes.
The idea you want to talk about it, and
you're stuck in that circle.
You're stuck in that circle.
So I do like that about Toastmasters. We can move around.
And they're real picky about what you say and how you say it.
They are real picky. I had a certain line in mind where I said something, and they said, well, that only includes half the people, so you want to say this word instead. So they're pretty,
very inclusive.
Yeah.
We want to include everybody.
But it was good. I don't know if I would do it again. I think it's a one and done kind of thing. But I love Toastmasters. Really? Yeah, I don't know, because my idea for that, I don't know if I have a really good story like that one.
I wanted to do a TED Talk.
I was going to ask you didn't do one.
The only reason why I don't want to do one now is because after coaching,
yes,
it's a lot of work.
It is.
With the rehearsals.
It is. And a lot of it was done by Zoom, but I actually got a hold of my coach 2 weeks before the event and went down there and worked with him. I got an apartment with a not an apartment, hotel, but it had the living room, and we went out there and I did it, and he took notes, and he'd seen it on the thing the whole time, but when he was right there doing it and taking notes, and then he put the Broadway musical in, pull back the curtain, fold the banner, all these things he implemented. It was the best day I spent in my life, because the next week I did TED.
All right.
Yes.
All right, I didn't know that.
You could do it. I mean, you're right. They're gonna bend, fold, mutilate, spindle a little bit of your stuff, but not that much.
I'll give it. I need to.
How can you coach it and not do it? That's amazing to me. Is it because of the Toastmasters stuff? Must be.
Must be.
Has to be.
I've been Toastmastering too long.
No, you haven't. Don't leave me alone.
But how did you get selected for that? What's the selection process?
Well, I don't know the selection process. I'll tell you how I got selected.
You didn't put your name in the hat and say, I want to be a TED Talk speaker?
No.
They came and got you?
Yes.
Oh my God. Tell me the story.
You know Sabrina Sterling?
Yes.
Sabrina Sterling used to do these little videos of teachers in the classroom doing their work. I didn't know she was doing that, but anyway. So I'm in the classroom. We just got smart boards, and the kids all got computers. No teacher knew how to use them, how they interfaced, anything like that. I figured out all the kids could work on a project, and it would go up on the smart board. Well, I was going home from my class reunion, so I had to make up the itinerary. This guy got the hotel rooms, this guy got the airline reservations, this guy figured out the golf courses, this guy figured out where I was going to eat and what I was going to have on the menu. They figured out the mileage from Tahoe to Vegas to Oregon, all this stuff. And they were working on it in my classroom in real time. And she walked in with that little camcorder. And I don't know who she is from Adam, but I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. And she was videotaping this whole thing. Get this. She shows it to the principal. He goes, holy cow. He takes it to Atlanta, shows it to every principal in the state of Georgia and says, this is how we're supposed to use this new technology. Look at this guy.
He's using his students.
And guess what? Yeah, he's working them like dogs. But here's the deal. I can't spell technology. And all of a sudden, I'm this big tech genius. One day, the principal was up there doing something before a big speech to all the teachers. He's having trouble with the computers. And all the teachers know I don't know nothing about this stuff, right? I said, excuse me, sir, you need a hand. I started to get up. They all started laughing. But she came up to me, and she said, listen, this is like 5 years later now. She's a bigwig in TED now.
5 years later?
5 or 6 years later. She's a curator for TED. And she comes up to me, she says, you're doing a TED Talk. I go, I've never even heard of it. What is it? She goes, it's a speech. You're in. You're already in. They're going to call you tonight and ask you if you'd like to do it. I'm like, okay. I swear. And I'm sitting in the house. Boom, phone rings. This is blah, blah, blah. Yes, sir. What do you need? Well, I'd like to know if you'd like to give a TED Talk. I'm like, okay. I didn't do anything. That's true. This is.
You know how hard it is to get on TED?
That's so funny because I'm thinking.
I'm slashing your tires. I want to slash your tires.
And then I started getting into it, and I go, okay, well, this is serious, you know. And then we're doing the Zoom calls. Maria, there's a chick named Maria. You know her? Mm-hmm. She was on a Zoom call. She's a big deal in Toastmasters, too.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we did a Zoom call, and I didn't think I was doing, you know, I did okay. And she said, RJ, you're going to be great. And I felt wonderful after that. Thanks for coming. Did you have fun?
It's been 30 minutes already?
It has. We'll have to do it again.
We'll have to do it again.
I'm really glad you came up, Will.
Man, hey, thanks for having me.
Anytime, man. Good seeing you.
All right.